Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it, and so does Ashton. Ashton is my rat. Just in case you have not seen our Meet the New Pets video, me and my husband have rats. Pet rats. So yeah, this one's Ashton. He's really, really cute. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some things that may be kind of trigger warning for some people. It's going to definitely have some terminology that may not be something you want to hear. I'm going to be talking about some bullying and some things that I went through when I was in school. I haven't went into a lot of detail with the bullying that I have experienced and the things that I've dealt with when it comes to the bullying and the terminology and things of that nature. So if that's gonna bother you, please do not watch this specific video, because I do not want anybody's feelings to be hurt. I don't want to make anybody feel negative or anything of that nature. But if it's not gonna bother you, then please continue watching. So when I was in elementary school, of course I didn't deal with like a lot of traumatizing experiences. It was more just words that were thrown at me that were very harmful to such a young child who was not even knowing what some of the stuff was and who he was at that time. When I was in elementary school, I was really girly. I was really feminine. I didn't really have a lot of friends. The friends I did have were girls. I did not fit in with the boys. The boys were more into masculine things, and the masculinity I was not. I wanted the Barbies, the baby dolls, to play friends, boyfriend and girlfriend type thing, and I wanted to be the girl in the boyfriend and girlfriend thing. So I just dealt with a lot, and of course other kids noticed it, and I got picked on a little bit, being called gay and things like that, like being a little girl, a little prissy, or just sissy boy, and just all kinds of little things like that. So nothing too horrible, but at the same time, as a child and being called this stuff and being bullied that way was definitely very hurtful. In elementary school, I actually started developing depression and withdrawing from things, because I didn't really know how to handle what I was going through. I didn't know who I was or what I was or how to accept anything. So everything that was being told to me was hitting me really, really hard. So of course, in elementary school, I didn't, like I said, deal with a lot of traumatizing experiences, more of just things being thrown at me, words and terminology and things of that nature. So then going into middle school, of course, I've developed a little bit. Everybody else has developed. Things have changed, and unfortunately for me, it was for the worst. The way I dressed was actually a lot different, of course, than now. I wore really baggy shirts, really baggy shorts, and I was what I thought back then. I was gangsta. I was a thug. I was masculine. I didn't know what I was doing, okay, you guys? I was really young. I was like 13, 14, things like that. So, still trying to get girlfriends, not knowing what I'm doing, still being attracted to boys, whatever. So going into middle school, the terminology, of course, got worse than just being gay or a little sissy. It turned into queer. It turned into faggot. It turned into pussy and a little bitch, and just these really bad terminology words. And not that queer and faggot and these things are actually bad, because they're not bad words, but being those things were lashed at me in a negative way and persona, it was definitely very harmful on my mental health. And then I had little things happen. So I'm going to tell you about a few traumatizing experiences that happened to me. So one of the times I remember being in the gym the gym room, and we had to change clothes, and of course the boys all change in front of each other, and I hated that. I hated changing out in front of the boys. I got picked on, other boys saying that I'm looking at them and complaining and whining. In all honesty, I'm trying to be by myself in a corner, not anybody looking at me looking at nobody else. I didn't want to do it, whatever. But so the thing was like this. It was the benches, and we all was in that little area just changing out, and of course from our regular day clothes to our gym shorts and gym shirt. And I'm standing there changing, and one of the dudes was like, raise your hand if you think Jonathan is a faggot. And everybody starts raising their hand and laughing and making fun of me and saying, get away from me, and just making really bad remarks and really mean comments. And of course, as a young child, being as old as I was, like 14, it hurt a lot. And the whole class, like everybody was doing it, everybody was saying it and laughing at me. So of course it was really traumatizing, and it really hurt my feelings a lot. And back then, of course, you couldn't show fear by crying or anything, and I didn't know how to defend myself, so I just let it happen and ignored it, or tried to ignore it, and it really didn't work. I really started more so developing hardcore depression and starting to develop suicidal thoughts, and so it was really bothersome for me. And then I had another time where I was walking through the hallway. I was going from classroom to classroom, and sorry guys, my pet rat is really trying to knock over my phone. I was going from classroom to classroom, and I walked past one of the students, and I remember him looking at me and calling me a faggot. He was like, "You fucking faggot." And it pissed me off. This time, I didn't get hurt. I didn't get sad. I got pissed off. So I threw my book back down, and I started cussing him out and talking shit, and I was just going to fight him. Like, I was tired of the bullshit. I was tired of the bullying, the name calling. This had been going on for a long time, different things. And I was done. I was tired. And we was nose to nose about to fight, and somehow a teacher, I guess, heard us or seen us, or someone told, and they came out there and actually broke us up. So we didn't actually start fighting, and it wasn't really a traumatizing experience. It just an experience that I remember, and it was something that shouldn't even happen, because people shouldn't have been calling me the dirty little names. Okay, so I had another experience, and it wasn't really about bullying. It was about bullying. It wasn't about being gay or feminine. So one time I shaved my head, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what guard to use. I just kind of guessed because I was young and stupid and didn't know the hell I was doing. And when I shaved my head, I shaved myself almost completely bald. And I looked absolutely horrendous. So when I go to school, I started getting picked on even worse. Like, not that was worse, but when I went to school, I'm sitting in my desk, right? And the classroom is dark. My teacher's desk is in the very back of the room in a corner, and he didn't personally like me anyways. Don't know why. He just didn't. But I'm sitting there, and I just got into class. I was actually a little bit late that day. And I remember going into the classroom, sitting down, and getting looked at by them. And of course, you're getting little smirks and a little laughs as you're walking by. And then I had the boys get up, and they start walking around my desk, making fun of me. I do not really remember what they said. I just remember they were making fun of me, calling me names, just doing really mean things to me. And my teacher, for a couple minutes, didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. He didn't even acknowledge that it was happening. And I know he had to hear it. He didn't decide to step in and acknowledge the bullying until I started crying. And then it was very open and knowing that something was not right, something was going on, and that he needed to step in, of course, as a teacher of the school. So, and I know some people are probably asking why wasn't anything ever reported, and because when I was that young, I was terrified that if anybody, my mom went to the school, or if I told, it was going to get worse. I was just going to make them mad, and the bullying would not stop. So, of course, I did everything I could not to tell. And it's not the best way. I tried to handle it on my own, not knowing that I couldn't. And that's how I started developing my depression and anxiety. And I had insomnia for the longest time and things of that nature. And it was really, really bad, you guys. And through this time, I really didn't have a lot of friends. I did have a couple, at most maybe 3 friends that, I was kind of close friends with, that I kind of talked to them about it. But they were getting bullied too some, so, it did help, but at the same time, it didn't help, because at the end of the day, I was still getting bullied. We're all getting bullied, so, yes, you can talk about it, but it doesn't stop the bullying happening. And then I even had little things happen, like, I broke my arm one time, and kids, other kids had people help them out with getting their books from class to class. I actually got refused by everybody. no, they weren't going to help me with my books and my supplies getting from class to class. So I had to do everything one-armed, and it was really, really difficult. And then while I had that happening, I also had a student put a random lock on my locker, so I couldn't get into my locker. And then, of course, when I go and find out that, because I didn't have a lock on my locker at the time, so, of course, seeing a random lock on there, I knew that it wasn't supposed to be there. So, I had to get a janitor come cut it off in the middle of everybody switching classes. Super embarrassing, and having people laughing and making jokes and stuff like that. So, it was one of those traumatizing experiences a little bit. But little things like that, and it really just actually bothered me a lot, you know? So these were just a few things that I have dealt with and went through more in detail of the bullying that I experienced growing up, which caused me to have a lot of the depression that I had, a lot of the suicidal thoughts that I had. I used to self-harm, and not all the bullying was actually happening at school. Some of it was happening at home, which I'm not going to speak about. I'm not going to open that up and things of that nature. I'm going to leave it where it's at, because that now is dead. That will not happen. Neither will the school thing, but regardless, so, I really started, like I said, developing depression. I was diagnosed with depression back then. I'm actually diagnosed with major depression, anxiety, and insomnia currently, and I'm supposed to take medicine for it, but I don't. But I had to see therapists and counselors for a couple years, and until the therapist location that I went to actually quit accepting minors, and they cut out the minor department. So it was only 18 and older, and I was like 15 or 16. I was like that, somewhere around that age. Maybe 17. I don't know. I was a minor still, so I was cut out of the program. And we just never got me back into seeing another therapist. So, like, I was doing the whole therapist and medicines and counselors, and it was a whole thingamabob. And I actually learned how to talk about things that were going on a little bit, the experiences that I was going through, things of that nature. So it helped a little bit. But I really, over the years, as I grew up and developed, just learned how to ignore things, and the fact that what people say about me doesn't make me. I know who I am, I know what I am, and I'm validated regardless of anybody else. And that's really what's got me through most of it now. Because even to this day, of course, I still deal with some bullying, being transgender and being called a man or a dude, and that no matter how many surgeries I'm gonna have, my DNA is never gonna change, and hearing all this shit. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I know who I am, I know what I do, and I validate my damn self. And that's really the biggest thing that I have to say. Like, I learned how to get over what people said, and not listen to them, not let it affect me, not let it get to me, not let it make me sad or depressed. Just whatever. Let them say what they want to say. That's the mind frame I have when it comes to that. And to make this video not too much longer, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here for this video and learning a little bit more about me and what in the past made me a little bit more of the person that I am today. Remember, I love you all so freaking much. I'm thinking about doing another Q&A soon, so leave questions through my social media and on the comment section of this video. And also other video ideas, because, kind of running out of ideas, so I need some creative things or things that y'all might want to see. And of course, remember, my social media is always in the description box below, as well as on the screen. So make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. And remember that I love y'all so much. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video and my channel. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. I love you so much. Hope you have a great day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you next time. Bye.